Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
There's no crying in baseball!
To infinity and beyond.
Alright. Iron Man.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Film Code. My name is Phoenix Clouden, and we got the crew back together once again early in the morning. Everybody's still rubbing the crust out of their eyes. I'm drinking orange juice to stay alive. And we are, of course, welcomed back by Mr. Zach Sneef. Zach, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been kind of a long week for me. I'm excited it's a weekend again. So, yeah, excited to be here.
Excellent, excellent. And, of course, joined by the great Season 3 code-breaking champion himself, Sir Brandon. How are you, sir?
Man, I am good, Phoenix. It's good to be talking movies again. It feels like it's funny because we did a late week recording on our last episode, so it feels like we just recorded and did a code word and all that. So, and here we are again. So it's good to be back. I am so excited to dive into this movie with you guys. I've wanted to talk about this for so long. So now that we're finally doing it, I am super pumped. How are you doing, Phoenix?
I am sleepy. But on top of that, I'm also very excited because I've loved this movie ever since I saw it. It is one that I've been wanting to talk about on this show for a long time. So very, very happy we get to break it down. And of course, if you clicked on this episode, you know we are talking about Whiplash. Damien Chazelle's, was this his debut film? I believe it was.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Debut feature film, yeah. Whiplash, starring J.K. Simmons, Miles Teller, a bunch of other people whose names are leaving me right now. But those are the main two cast members.
Melissa Benoist.
Yes, Melissa Benoist. Ooh, yes, totally forgot about her. She's fantastic. And this movie is about a kid who's really interested in becoming a professional drummer, professional musician. He joins a band in his college, and his instructor is one of the most talented, but also one of the most ruthless people he's ever come across. And that is who J.K. Simmons plays. This movie came out in 2014, and it got J.K. Simmons his first Oscar win, I believe. So, yeah.
And it also came with one of the best Oscar-winning speeches.
Yeah, he had a great speech. Yeah. So, Zach, this was your first time seeing Whiplash. What did you think of this movie?
Yeah, no, I mean, I really don't have anything bad to say. I love everything about it. I love the music. I thought the acting was phenomenal. My only issue with it is I felt like there could have been more expansion on the story as to like what happens after, which is kind of where I felt like wanting more. So, not that it was bad, it's just I wanted more of it. It was great. So, that's kind of where I was watching the movie. Is like when it ended, I was like, "Oh, come on!" Like, I want to know what happens.
Right.
So I really don't have anything bad to say besides that. I just wish, like, they kind of would have given you a little insight into like maybe a little bit of what happened after that moment. So at the end of the film,
it's so interesting that you say that because I consider this probably one of my top 10 favorite movie endings ever because it's just it's so good. Yeah.
I feel like once. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not saying it's not good. I don't have an issue with. I want more. Like, I'm not saying the ending's not good. I'm not saying it's not great. It is great. I love the ending, and it is a great ending. It's just I want more.
He wants Whiplash to even bigger lashes.
Yeah, like maybe if they gave me that, maybe I would feel a little like I would feel the satisfaction I'm like looking for. Because like I just want it built up so much, and I was like, when it ended, I was like, no, like, I want to know what happens after this moment. So
I feel like once Phoenix and I kind of explain the ending more, I think you'll be more content with it.
no, I don't think I will.
Okay, so for me, you know me, I it's on my top 10 of all time. I absolutely love this movie. I really wish I got a chance to see this in theaters because I ended up not knowing about this film until after it came out because little young me wasn't really a big movie guy back then. We rented it from a Redbox and watched it at my house, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like such a good movie. And then the more I rewatch it over and over and over, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is literally one of the best movies I've ever seen. And then I start going down the lore of everything and all that. And I stumbled upon, just a few years ago, I think 2018, 2019, the Whiplash short film that kind of got Damien Chazelle his full feature-length film. Zach, I know you haven't seen this because you just watched Whiplash the other day. Phoenix, have you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I'm going to send it in the chat here for Zach to pull up because like it's worth watching. It's J.K. Simmons, but not Miles Teller. It's Johnny Simmons playing Neiman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so good.
This is part of the reason why J.K. Simmons won the Oscar is like, hey, people saw you do this in a small film, and then once it got expanded to a full feature length, you still killed it. Like, you were able to hold that character and give it so much like depth and veritas. It was ridiculous. And yeah, like I remember the very first time I watched this movie, I was like, what is wrong with this guy? I was like, why is he so anal, bro? But like the scene in particular that I love it. I will watch it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Is the scene where he's like messing with Neiman. He's like, not quite my tempo. You know what I'm saying? Not quite. You know what I'm saying? Just a little off. It's either rushing or dragging. It's like, it's just a little off. And like, he keeps going. You know what I'm saying? He's like, nope, you're rushing. Nope, you're dragging. Like, you know what I'm saying? Finally, you think he's got it. He's like, okay, you're in time. Yeah, you got it. And then he just launches a symbol out. And he's just like, because he's so angry, but he's also so calm and commanding. And he's like, he throws the symbol, and then he's just standing there, like, in fury, like, do you know why I threw that at your head? Like, it's like, what is wrong with this dude? Oh, but it's such a good performance.
You know what's great is it kind of copies the story that Fletcher was telling Andrew, like literally 10, 15 minutes prior in their time of saying like, oh, you know how he became one of the greats? Somebody threw a chair at his head. I forget the name of him, but yeah, no, like he's literally telling a story that happens to him. He throws a freaking symbol at his head.
Well, you guys have it switched. He said in the story that a symbol gets thrown at the head, but that he threw a chair at Neiman's head.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he threw a chair at Neiman. I just watched it yesterday.
Yeah, he
Okay.
did.
He threw a chair at Neiman's head. Yeah,
that's funny.
But yeah, you're right, Brandon. He did like have that conversation right before he threw the chair at his head. What I thought was messed up was him bringing up his dead mother.
Yeah.
Or not
Oh,
his
yeah.
dead mother. Sorry, not his dead mother.
Not dead, but
The mother who left.
The mother who left. The fact he was like, "Oh, cool, man, just do your best," and then like as soon as
You're a little shit dick whose mommy left daddy.
Yeah. No wonder your mother left. I was like, oh my god. As someone who hasn't known their father and hearing that one hurt. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't ever deal with this person in my life. Like, I'd have left. 100%.
Yeah, I think
That was taking it a little too far. I
I
think.
mean, like there are several moments where he takes it too far.
Oh, you mean like when he smacks him in the face?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
To make sure he knows the difference between
Rushing and dragging.
Right,
dragging.
it killed me because he's like, "Go ahead, count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4." It's like, was I rushing or dragging? He's like, I don't know. Count again, then. Like I'm like, just like, so I'm gonna keep smacking you until
So you do know the difference.
Oh, that whole scene is
My
writing
favorite part is when he gets rid of the trombone player,
who was quote out of tune,
who wasn't even out of tune, and he's like, well, he wasn't even out of tune anyways. But the fact he doesn't know the difference, he doesn't deserve to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was hilarious.
That's how you know he's cold. He's cold blooded.
I the second I knew he was cold blooded when he looks down and Fletcher's like, what are you looking? There's no fucking Mars bar down there. I'm like, Jesus.
There's so many great scenes with that character. Like, I love J.K. Simmons, and I think he's managed to have a very impressive career. I don't know if he'll ever get a role as good as this one. Like,
it's by a long shot. Like, I think the closest he's made it since then is Invincible, when he plays Omni-Man.
Yes,
Yeah.
probably.
Is this the only time J.K. Simmons does not have the iconic hair and mustache?
No, La La Land.
Yeah, he has it in La La Land.
Sorry, I don't remember him that much in La La Land.
Yeah,
So
he has a very
He has a very short
small
cameo
role.
in La La Land.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it wasn't really a memorable moment for me. So
Yeah. And he doesn't make an appearance in Babylon, actually, I don't think, which is crazy. All right.
You would think he would have just a small part.
Small, yeah. Like,
But I mean, I don't think he was in First Man.
oh,
So
all right. So Damien Chazelle, man, it's time to bring back J.K. Simmons. I don't know what you're doing. Make sure he's got a role in your next thing. So, aside from J.K. Simmons, who also leads this movie, is Miles Teller, who does an amazing job. Like, truly does an amazing job. Miles has yet to receive any accolades for his acting, and I think he's been in several pretty good movies. But here, especially, right, because he's playing a character who's driven, who's ambitious, and whose ambition comes up against someone whose sole purpose is to tear a person down and to nothing and see if they can build themselves back up
and crack under the pressure,
right?
Or they crack, or they form into a diamond that they want them to be.
Exactly, and that's why I think the final scene is so rich, because it's taking everything that we've seen up to that point, and it all explodes into that one moment where he's like, I'm not cracking, goddammit. I'm gonna do what I set out to do, because that's how hard my ambition is. And you see Fletcher finally go, there it is. Like, there it is. There's that perfection I was looking for. And I just think it's such a perfect ending. Such a perfect ending. And it's got like two of the sweetest close-ups I've ever seen. Like, it's one on Miles's eyes and then the other one on Fletcher's eyes, and you're like, that connection is just like instant. I'm like, oh, it's so perfectly done. So perfectly done. Then you get the quick zoom in to the final drum shot. It's perfect.
It's so
oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Like, it's like one of the things like that just moves me so much is like this is one of the things that I loved so much about Damien Chazelle in this film, and especially in Babylon, is like, I think he was a jazz artist at some point. Like, he was a jazz musician. And so he's found a way to incorporate jazz into storytelling, and the music matching the beats of the story, I think, is insane and phenomenal how he does that. And like anyone who's ever listened to jazz, like knows that that's what jazz does. It's storytelling through music, but you get to interpret the story any way you want. So I'm like, I think he's masterful at doing that.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Like, it was funny. We're talking about the finale here real quick, and I'm literally listening to Caravan in my headphones right now.
So
It's just this entire soundtrack, because it's not just Justin Hurwitz. It's a mix of different artists. You have Justin Hurwitz, Nicholas Britell, Stan Getz, Hank Levy, Tim Simonek. It's just there's just so many different artists. Even J.K. Simmons does some stuff in here, which is crazy. But this is like, I think might be like one of the best composed soundtracks. And I don't know. Maybe it's a Justin Hurwitz thing, but this man never fails to deliver. Like, he's like, you can think what you want on First Man. He even delivered on First Man's soundtrack. Like, all four of the films he's like composed for Damien Chazelle has just been top tier, and I love it. Yeah. But back to the movie here for a second. I think this really is the film that put Miles Teller on the map, because I think he was doing like the Divergent series before this, and for him it was just kind of like a role, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So this finally putting him on the map is great, because he's done so much since.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I also like to mention Melissa. I think you say it, Melissa Benoist.
I think it's Benoist or something like it. I know it's Canadian. I don't know. It's probably Benoit. I don't know.
I apologize if I mispronounce her name, but Melissa, she's really good in this film too. I love the chemistry her and Neiman have on screen. Just like their entire relationship seems believable. And it's a shame that like Neiman has to break things off for him to like better his career. He's like, listen, I'm not even going to be here. I'm going to be in my room practicing like 25/8, just over and over and over and over. And just it's sad to see how that's how they broke things off, because like, they're a perfect couple, but like he's letting his career try and like get in the way here.
That's what I mean. Like, Neiman has obviously Fletcher gets all the hype, but Neiman has some fantastic scenes as well. Like that breakup scene, it's so well done, because you see, as he's doing it, you could just tell like he's beat up. He's beat up. He's broken. He's washed, man. And, like,
his hands are bloodied.
He can't really even see himself. And so like when he's saying what he's saying, it almost comes across very cold and distant, because you just know he's not fully there. Like he's not fully present, and it's obvious. And I think, like I said, Miles, I think, does an amazing job in delivering how that character is at that moment, and just not very responsive to anything other than Fletcher at that point. Like, that's the only person who's gotten inside of him. He's in his head, and and there's a scene in particular where he's practicing, and he's like messing up, and he like just loses it, and he punches his drum. Like, dude's out of it, bro. I think he does an excellent job of showing the amount of stress that he's under, and that Fletcher's put him under, and the way he really can't escape it. I think that is just tremendous. I don't know if this ever actually happened to Damien Chazelle, or if he knows it happened to somebody, but the accuracy in depicting that level of stress, I thought was really, really well done.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because like you just see him trying to hit double time over and over and over, and he just can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, what I think is so great about this, it really paints a picture of what it takes to be successful. Because there's so many people who look at someone who's successful and think like it's just easy to get there, right? And the thing is like if you ever really look at a successful person, there are relationships that they cut off, and there are people who they cut out from their life. Like if they think that it prevents them from accomplishing the goal that they have set in mind, they will very quickly cut people out. And that's a very realistic expectation of someone who is successful. Like those people who achieve a certain level of success have that mentality where if you're wasting my time and getting in the way of me perfecting what I'm doing, then you don't have any position in my life. And that's just how it is.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. And like you said it, just the way you said it, I was like, dang man, that sounds just awful. But I'm like, no, but you're 100% right. Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm trying to reach this level, and you know, it doesn't even have to be anything that other person has done. It's just like,
Yeah.
I can't focus on you. I'm after something so important to me that it trumps even you, and that's cold blooded, but it's the God's honest truth.
Yeah.
I'm
But
moving.
if you look at someone who's highly successful, I guarantee you there's been conversations they've had with people like that.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe not even a conversation. They just cut them out.
Just 86. I'm like, yep. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to mention the scene where he forgets his drumsticks at the car rental place. That scene, I'm like, there are a lot of scenes in movies where like my heart is racing. This scene, we lost Zach. I don't know what happened to him, but it was this scene right here that I'm like, oh my god, I feel like my heart's gonna rip out of my chest because like he gets to the concert, everything's fine, just to find out he doesn't have his drumsticks. And he's like, "Oh, I could just borrow his." You're not fucking borrowing mine.
Sticks.
You're not borrowing my sticks. So he has to rush back to the car rental place. He gets the drumsticks, comes back, realizes they're going on stage. He slams it on the gas, gets into a car wreck, and even when he's injured from a car wreck, hauls ass to get to the concert, just for Fletcher to cut him.
That's dedication.
And that's what the scene that I love right there is when he's like, well, he just starts attacking Fletcher because like he's like, bro, you see I'm bloodied. Do you see that what just happened to me? And even Fletcher's confused. He's like, he sees us all bloody, but he doesn't even care. He's looking out for his own career here.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. Back to what we were just talking about successful people. It's like, yeah, I see your dedication. I see how messed up and beat up you are, but like we got a show to put on, bro. Like you can't come on my stage looking like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're beat up, you're trash. Like what is that gonna say about me? So like I understand you're upset, but you can't come on my stage. Like
no, he made it on the stage. He went on the stage and he performed, but he dropped one of his sticks.
Yeah, it was just like, see, yeah, that and that's why people cut you out, like because you can't bring down the quality of what I'm doing for your own reasons. I don't care. Like so, I love, like I said, one of the things that I love so much about Damien Chazelle's movies is he has a good idea of taking themes and making those themes resonate throughout every scene of the movie. And like this movie in particular is like, it's all about different themes. The theme of success, the theme of devotion and dedication, and what it means to break. All of that is resonant throughout every scene of this movie, and that's why I love it, man. That's why I love it. I just think it's so very good, so very well written. It very much feels and to me it feels distinct from both La La Land and Babylon, because it feels very lived in, right?
To me, this is you know what's funny is I think La La Land in some way is all, like kind of a combination of Babylon and Whiplash, except just not as well written, in my opinion.
Not as well written.
Are you talking about like on a soundtrack perspective, or
think about it this way, right? La La Land is about two people, one who's in love with jazz, one who's in love with Hollywood. In Babylon, it's about Hollywood. In Whiplash, it's about jazz. So it's kind of funny, like that they kind of mesh into La La Land.
And let me guess, the planetarium scene is because of First Man.
Genius! It's all there.
It all makes sense now.
And La La Land still is overrated.
First Man is key to all this.
But no, anyways, back to Whiplash.
Yeah, back to Whiplash.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, I really don't have any issues with the way that he carried out the movie. It's just, like I said, I just feel like I want more. I want to see where Neiman goes from there. I would even love to see where Fletcher goes from there. So,
yeah,
does he continue to work for this?
I feel like what would have been very satisfying is if, like, once it cut to black or whatever, it was like, and then Fletcher went on to do this, and Neiman is now serving as like,
even that would have been like giving me the satisfaction I was looking for.
Right.
Something that I love, because speaking of Fletcher here for a second, I do want to mention Casey. The one who he found out died on that phone call.
Right.
Man, like, you never see Fletcher like break down until that scene where he gets the call and he's like, "Thank you." He immediately puts on Casey's soundtrack. What's that?
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh yeah. He immediately puts on the CD that Casey recorded, and he just lets them listen. He's like, he explains Casey's story, and like, yeah, he twisted the words a little bit about how he died, but just that the way, just seeing him break down like that, just humanizing him, just even like 0.01% in this film is just, I love it.
But the fact that he lied about it.
Of course he would. Well, could you imagine if he'd been like, one of my former students killed himself?
Yeah, because he knows it's probably his fault. And you could tell like that was a student that he really cared for and was like really like nurtured of his talent. Like,
yeah, but you also have to realize what a jackass he is, because
of course.
No. Hear me out. Also, not only did he say that, but there's a point where Miles asks him, "Well, what if you push them too hard and they never become anything?" And then he's kind of like, "Well, then they were never meant to be that," which is kind of saying about his dead student. Yeah, he killed himself, but that just means he wasn't meant to be great.
Was that said before or after we find out?
It was said after he found out he died. That's messed up. Yes. That is messed up.
That's like Brandon said it. It humanized him only 0.1%. Like, it was very, very little.
Yeah, but even the humanization of him gets taken away later.
Exactly.
Because it's like, oh my God.
Because and I think that's why it feeds so well into the ending. Because it's like, here's a student whom he believed had greatness, whom he pushed, who broke. right? So he lost his chance at something that he felt he almost had. And then finally he gets Neiman over that hump. And the joy and the realization of that, the whole purpose of his teaching is finally fulfilled in that moment. It's perfect. You understand? It's perfect. It's genius. It's so damn good because now we like you have this character who we saw just get a little bit humanization, and Zach is right. Then it gets taken right back because he's an asshole. He's a complete like shit human being. like, and then we get that final scene where he finally gets to that thing that he's always wanted with his students, and that is the ultimate satisfaction. I think. Hold on one second. I think if you're a student or a teacher, especially a teacher, that is one of those things where you are. That is your ultimate goal, right? That is your ultimate goal, is to finally see a student achieve their full potential that you knew that they were capable of, and you just had to push them beyond what they themselves even thought they were capable of. That's the ultimate dream. So yeah.
Something that I love is when Fletcher asks Neiman back into the band about the little jazz band he's doing. Right. He's like, "Oh yeah, the current drummer's not cutting it," and he's just doing all of this just to screw over Neiman. And I love when Neiman realizes they're doing upswinging instead of Whiplash. And I just love that part because when he leaves the stage and he realizes, hold on a second, let me do this. And he does three things all at once. He gives a giant middle finger to the composer, because the composer writes, but he would also do the cadence.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's the director.
That's the conductor.
Conductor, that's what it is. Hello,
Yeah.
thank you. Oh my God, it's been like what 10 years since I've been in band, full band. The conductor. It was a giant middle finger to the conductor. He showed that he could also be one of the best drummers. And 3, Fletcher went with it. Originally, towards the beginning of the song, Fletcher's like, "I'm going to gouge out your eyeballs."
Mm-hmm.
And when he realizes, like, when the song ends, he just keeps going. Fletcher's confused. He's like, "Neiman, what are you doing, man?" And he's like, "I'll kill you." I should clarify, CUE, not kill.
Yeah.
Because my brother,
like
I showed.
Said kill.
Yeah, no, I'll cue you.
Yeah.
And I love that scene because that's when Fletcher's like, "Okay, let's do this. Let's make some greatness."
Well,
And
that's when he takes control.
Right.
I love it because at the end of the day, Fletcher was trying to screw over Neiman to never want to drum again and do it in front of all of these different critics, just for him to be like, "Okay, let's make perfection." And then at the end of it, it's the zoom in on their eyes, and you don't even need to see Fletcher smile. You just need to see his eyes wince a little bit. It's just so good. He realizes that he made a great. He realizes that he is going to be one of the greats, and it just ends so absolutely perfect. And part of that scene is I love how not only is it a 9-minute scene, but I love when the original song for Caravan ends, the person dims the lights and they're like, "Wait, he's still going, bring him back up."
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so good. The camera work, just Miles Teller killing it, him actually having to learn how to play that song.
Mm-hmm.
It's just over and over and over, just so freaking good.
Raymond, you still haven't changed my mind.
Okay.
That's fair.
I still want more.
And I'm not mad at that because
it's up to interpretation.
I'm not mad at that though, because it's like so much of the movie is so goddamn good. Like it really is. And you're like, just let this go for another like 4 hours. Like it's just so good. Oh my god. Like there's one other scene that in particular that we didn't talk about, which I love, and but I know if I was in band and this happened, this is my last day. like like is when um he has two other drummers and they're all like
Oh, they're all
taking
trying to hit
turns
double time.
to hit double time, and he's just like he makes like the rest of the band wait for them to get it right. And he just tortures these guys for hours, bro. I'm like, wow. And like they're bleeding on the freaking drum set. It's insane. And then he's finally like when he finally picks Neiman, which he was always gonna freaking do. Like like then he's like he brings the band back in and it's like, okay, now we can start. What? No, I'd have been gone. Like I'd have been gone. There's no way. I'd have been like, I'm not even interested. That would have been my last day. But like just the whole fact that he had them going and going and going for hours, I'm like, bro, that's one of the best scenes of the movie, and also just one of the most twisted scenes in the movie.
I think the funniest line during that, he's like, if you need to go take a dump, just smoke, whatever, just get out. We'll get back to this when they got it.
Right. Oh, man. No, he says, the line that kills me is he says, I apologize to the musicians. Like, like you a dirty mother. Oh, my God. That was just hilarious. So it's so many good scenes with Fletcher, so many good scenes with Neiman. It's such a goddamn so good, man. Like it's literally one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite soundtracks, one of my favorite performances. Is like, and I love it too because like it's rare that you get that, right? Where it's like there's one movie or there's one performance where you're like everybody's in sync. They're like, this is the winner. Like this is the winner. No questions asked. We're done here. Everybody else is thank you for coming. like but this is the winner. I feel like it was J.K. Simmons and it was Parasite. Those are the only times I can distinctly remember when everybody was all on board.
Yep, 100%. Just looking back, just seeing J.K. Simmons' performance, like not like if you were to go back and watch this for the first time, not knowing that J.K. Simmons won an Oscar for this, you'd be like, "Holy crap! Who won the Oscars that year?" If you and you're like, "Holy crap! It should have been him," and you find out it's him, I would have been like, "Let's go! Perfect!
Yeah,
awesome!"
Yeah, so me.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know he won?
No.
Oh, wow.
Awesome! See,
Yeah.
Perfect example right there.
Yeah, that was perfection.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I think for me, it'll forever be just it's number 6 on my top 10 favorites of all time. It's just this film will forever be great to me.
Yeah. All right, so final ratings, Zach. What are you giving Whiplash?
I'm giving it 4.5 stars, not because I feel like they did anything wrong. It's just I want more.
You want more?
Brandon can disagree with me, but if they make a Whiplash 2, I would very quickly change it to a 5-star movie because I would know what happens.
So you don't want to ever leave your mind up to interpretation?
I just think there's movies where you can do that and movies that should...
And this is one of those movies you can do that for.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Brandon, what is your final rating for Whiplash?
5 stars. Like it's like before I even had Letterboxd, before I even knew what a rating system was, me 9 years ago would have also given this 5 stars. It's funny. Like I showed my brother this a few years ago, and because I showed him this in La La Land, and like when I showed him this, he's like, "That is like it's literally his favorite movie of all time."
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I'm gonna ride that 5 stars as well with Brandon. Because Whiplash is literally a perfect movie. I have zero complaints. I could watch it over and over and over again. So there you go, Zach. Just watch it over and over again. I'm sure that'll give you the more that you're looking for.
I mean, yes, I'm not saying you can't watch it over and over again. It's just I'm not ever gonna feel like every time I watch it, I'm gonna be like,
Just give me more.
like, just tell me what happens.
Oh man. All right, there you have it, guys. 5 stars from me and Brandon, and 4.5 from Zach. Still wanting more on Whiplash. What did you guys think of it? Have you seen it? What did you think? We didn't even do a non-spoiler on that one. We just went through it.
if you have, this film came out 10 years, almost 10 years ago. If you haven't seen it, that's on you.
Yeah, sadly. But we're now going to move on to what's good. Gentlemen, what have you seen? What would you recommend? Brandon.
Man, I feel like I have so many like talking points I could choose, but I think I have to go something more recent that like has just stuck in my mind ever since I watched it the other day. I watched for the first time The Shining.
Oh.
If there hasn't been a film that has been stuck in my mind that I can't stop thinking about for days, it's very rare that this happens. The Shining has done it. Easily one of the best horror films I've ever seen. Easiest one of the craziest endings of like, not endings, but final shots of a film.
Oh.
It's just that, oh my God, man. Just the zoom in just to find out that Jack's picture's there in 1921. It's so good. It's left to so much interpretation. It's just, oh my God, Zach and I's Boss. It's one of his favorite movies. And he was like, oh yeah, like I was talking to him. He's like, yeah, even the camera work for the time that it came out in 1980, it's something you've never seen before. The tracking shot of him on the tricycle, just so freaking good. And then I follow up with like I'd like to mention it while I'm on here, and since we're talking The Shining, I went ahead and watched Dr. Sleep yesterday, and that was not as good. Like I gave The Shining easy 5 stars, and it's very unfortunate to me that I had to give Dr. Sleep, like I gave it like a 2.5. It's not a good, like I know it's not supposed to be a follow up. I get it, it's supposed to be its own story, but the talking points that you took from The Shining of them going back to the hotel just made no sense. The whole film ended like pointlessly. I just think you should have kept it out of the book and not had to make it a novel. But all that to say is it does not affect my thoughts on The Shining at all. The Shining is a perfect movie, in my opinion.
All right. Zach, what about you?
Well, I did watch, so this is an old one, and I'm sure people have seen it, but I did watch Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
Ooh.
Yes.
Really, really awesome. So
That's speaking of horror films, that's on the top 5 of best horror films of all time.
Wow.
Yeah, that was insane. I love that movie. So if you haven't seen it, go check out Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, I actually still have not seen Psycho. It's on my movies I can't believe I haven't watched yet list.
It's less of just prepping you for this. It's less jump scary and more of like psychological, like yeah. It's so good.
Those are some of my favorite actually. I hate to break up the horror party here, but
Romance?
Yes,
he's gonna hit us with Cats 2019.
Oh dear. No, but once again, I'm back to my Barbie watch list, the Greta Gerwig Barbie watch list, and I finally finished one of the films that was top mine that I had to see. I'm so excited because I finally got to knock this one off, and it is The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. It is a Jacques Demy film, French film. It is a sung through film. I did not know this before I watched it. So not a musical per se, but it is completely sung through. Which means the dialogue is all sung. Even if it doesn't rhyme, doesn't matter. It's all sung through. But it's in French, so it sounds lovely. And it's a beautiful, beautiful color palette. Like, you totally get where the influence from this movie contributed to Barbie in the color palette, in the way that what's happening in one scene doesn't, like, barely affects everyone around it. It's so good. So I loved it. It's got an ending though that, like, makes me want to strangle somebody. But other than that, like it's a really great film, and I dug it. I dug it a lot. So for me, that's another one off the list. I think I'm 6 or 7 movies down now. Next up is Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I cannot wait to see. So let you know how that one goes. But so for me, that's The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. For Brandon, you got The Shining, and for Zach, you have Psycho. Whew, please let me know if you guys check out any of these movies, because that sounds amazing. That list sounds incredible. So yeah, you won't have a bad time with that. All right. And that has been what is good from us here at Film Code. And now it is that time.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
These gentlemen received the code word yesterday. Unfortunately, a little late. But
Always a little late.
But they've had a day or so to think about it and study it. They got it.
Hey, I find it so funny that like if it's one of us not delivering a code word at a decent time, you're like, "Hey, Brandon or Zach, you got the code word for us, buddy?" And then you're like, and then we're like, "We just let you be," and you're like, "All right, I know I'm late. Here's the code word."
My bad. But yeah, I wasn't sure we were recording today or next week, so I forgot to deliver it. But I got it in. Your code word is also. It is between 2000 and 2006. Your two leads have starred in recent Disney Plus projects, and your film is not in the English language. Brandon, you are a champion, which means, Zach, you will lead us off. What is your guess for the code word?
I know it's wrong because I only have half of. I know it's wrong. The best I could come up with though is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Came out in 2000. It's a Chinese movie, it appears, and it stars Michelle Yeoh, which is in the Disney Plus series
American Born Chinese.
American Born, yeah. Yeah, American Born Chinese. And but besides that, I've looked at these other actors and I don't see them in Disney Plus, but I did see her in there. The movie did come out in 2000. So, and I don't know what it would have to do with the code word, but I did choose Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Fantastic choice. All right. Brandon, what do you have, sir?
See, this is the toughest thing for me. Because there were two films I could really think about. There are only two films that you could really go through and be like, okay, not two films, two projects on Disney Plus that I logically think you would have gone with. High School Musical, the musical, the series, a series where all the kids are too young to be performing in 2000 and 2006 because they were literally born after that time.
True.
And American-born Chinese.
Yeah, exactly. American-born Chinese makes the most sense.
And I'm going to punch myself because I know you're going to find some outlandish series on Disney Plus.
Yep.
See, Phoenix is already laughing.
Oh, this is gonna be so fun. Okay.
I hate you.
Yeah, I knew it. I thought the same thing, Brandon. I was like, it's not even gonna be one of the series you would think it would be.
Oh my god.
It is so unfortunate because it'd be easier to narrow down, but because it's a foreign film, it's not in English. It's not in the English language.
Yeah.
That's where the issue lies. And that's where I have issue with this. So if you give me like 5 seconds to fully come up with the solution here.
Okay.
Basically, Brandon didn't study.
Oh no, I studied, but now that I'm thinking about it more.
Looking through Disney Plus here.
That's what happens when you give us the code word late.
I know, I'm so sorry. I will say, and maybe I should have given you this code word, this clue a little bit sooner. At least one of these Disney Plus projects is very popular. So
At least one. So
At
that
least
means so that means there is a Disney Plus project in there that's not very popular.
yes.
I hate you.
I could be right.
I
could be right.
See, because my original thing was also Crouching Dragon, but now I'm conflicted here.
Okay.
You mean Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Yeah, sorry. I'm because now it could be in a toss up between the film In the Mood for Love and Crouching Tiger.
Okay.
I thought about In the Mood for Love too. That was my other one.
Are you going with Crouching Tiger, or are you going with In the Mood? Come on. Which one you go?
They're both wrong.
They're both wrong.
Are they? Could they? Yeah. You don't know. Could they? Are they?
You wouldn't be this happy if they weren't both.
I just love torturing Brandon. I think this is great.
Fuck you. I'm going to shoot myself if I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with Crouching Tiger.
All right. So
don't tell me it's In the Mood for Love.
I really am sorry. I would if I had gotten this to you guys early, I feel like you might have been able to expand where you were looking. So that's on me. But unfortunately, you are wrong. Yes. Very, very close, though. So, your film is not in the English language, but it is in Spanish.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You weren't even looking in the right place.
I mean, he said not in English. You know what I'm saying? You guys went where you went.
What series? What goddamn series?
So, one of your series is Andor.
Oh my god.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No way.
Your other series is Werewolf by Night, which stars Gael Garcia Bernal, and Andor, of course, stars Diego Luna. These two both appeared in the movie from 2001, directed by where the also comes from. It is the first two letters and the first last letters of his name. It is also in the title, and that is Y Tu Mama Tambien. Directed by Alfonso Cuarón.
I looked at that one. This is bullshit. I looked at that one. I had a list of foreign films from in the 2000s I was going through. That was one of the ones, and I looked at it and I went, "There's no way."
I like Tambien also means also.
No, wait. Before we wait. Because You said the lead actors.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Wait, what was Gael Garcia in?
Werewolf by Night.
No.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
No. It's not on here.
Werewolf by Night is not on there?
Mm.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
That's what I found. That's how I got the clue. What are you talking about? Oh, man.
No, it's not. Son of a bitch. I literally clicked that movie. I literally had it's like pinned back from the one. Oh my god! I literally had it. It was in my arsenal, and I didn't use it.
Yeah.
That one hurts because I actually searched it.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen this movie. It is fantastic. I loved it. Alfonso Cuarón is one of my favorite directors. I love foreign films. This one is something I recently saw, I want to say last year or the year before. And then it topped my list of first watches. So, yeah, I love this movie. Y tu mama también. It's a fantastic film. I think it's one of Cuarón's earlier films, probably like his third film.
And it translates to "and your mom too," which is kind of funny. So I'm curious to know what this movie's about. Exactly.
So, there you have it. There's your code word. Y tu mama también.
I hate you.
If you haven't seen it, give it a watch. It's worth it. Also, check out In the Mood for Love and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Those are also amazing movies.
Have you seen those too?
I've seen Crouching Tiger. I haven't seen In the Mood for Love yet. But
In the Mood for Love is good.
Yeah, I've heard great things. It's on my watch list. I don't know why it's taking me so long to get to it. But there you have it. I will take those 2 points, and I am in the lead on the season so far. And yeah. Let everybody, guys, Zach, while in your sadness, let everybody know where they can find you, Zach.
You guys can find me on X at Zach Sneath. It's ZachSneath. And you can find me on Letterboxd at ZSneaks. It's ZSNEAKS.
And Brandon, let everybody know where they can find you, sir.
You guys can find me over on Letterboxd at FANTASMIC ears. Go check out what I'm watching. I think X is on its way out if they get rid of that block button. So if the block button goes away, I also go away. So yeah, guys, go check me out on Letterboxd. Go check out what I'm watching. And thank you guys again for listening.
And you guys can find me celebrating my great victory on Twitter at I'mHOReviews1, that's the number 1, and on Letterboxd under PA Clouden. And as always, guys, please follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads, especially now on Threads, at FilmCoPod. We will see you guys next week. We are out of here. Peace.